Welcome back for another book talk. Today we're talking about this one. This is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Now this is one that a lot of the Halloween Facebook groups that I am a part of had talked about, raved about, and I thought it was going to be something that it was not. So when I looked at this title, I thought, oh, that's a spooky cover. But like surely this title would indicate not that. So when I read How to Sell a Haunted House, I read that sarcastically. I read that as it's gonna be kind of humorous, like a little spooky, but like the baseline's gonna be like comedy. Nope, it's not. Not even a little bit, no. I also kind of was like, well, maybe it'll be like, I don't even know if anyone knows this book. I remember reading it eons ago, but it was Texas Gothic, and like, I thought maybe it would be like something like that. No. Like this was just, I tried to look it up a little bit, but it didn't really specify. And so I kind of trusted the groups and everyone was like, oh my god, like you gotta read this book, like it is so good. So I did, and it's not what I wanted it to be. Is it bad? No. It's a specific audience though. I am not that audience. I actually have had two books now back to back of the situation of I am not the intended audience, but for different reasons. So for this one, I don't like horror. I know, weird. I love Halloween, but I hate horror. I personally find that it's just not my thing. I feel like the world is bad enough as it is, and like, I have enough anxiety. I don't need you to add to it, which is why I'm loving the cozy books. That's where I think my niche of life is gravitating. Cause like, I don't like these. Adult Halloween books suck, because this is what they want it to be, which is fine. Most people like that. I'm just not that. I don't like it at all. And also, again, I probably should have done a little more research on this. And like, I feel like the people who had really recommended this book should have given a little more warning. So I'm just gonna mention this first and foremost. If you have gone through grief, if you're still really like grieving, this is maybe not the book to grab for right now, because you will relive that moment a lot when you have to sort through your loved one's items, handling the grief of it all. Like, he writes so good that it's bad because like you are just sucked right back into all those emotions, and like it's not fun to go through that at all. So like having him write it so good and so detailed is like a little warning. Would have been nice, because I probably wouldn't have picked it up, because I don't need to relive those feelings, that experience. And like, of course it's a fiction one, but still I mean, we've all kind of been there. When you walk through the house and you're like looking in the fridge and you see the half-saved sandwich, they're never gonna finish their sandwich. Like, it's the stupid stuff that just is going to crush your soul. He goes into all the details and you're like, oh damn, I didn't need that today, thanks. So because of that, I really kind of wanted to skip out on the book, but then I was like, I feel like I should finish it. So I did. And like, it does eventually get past that point, but just know if you were grieving, be warned. From there, it does get more spooky, paranormal, and if you, like, minor spoiler, it's more creepy doll, scary movie things, okay? That's where it goes. It's creepy dolls. For the writing in this book, oh my god, he is a good writer. I wish he wrote in a different genre, because like he could nail a different genre so good. Like, I would love to see this author write the book I'm currently going through because I don't love it. It's gonna be a super unpopular opinion. I'm trying to get through Mistborn. I'm hating my journey through it. If this author wrote it, I think he could handle it better. I think he could write that story better. He is good at storytelling. He is so good at balancing the outside world and descriptions of stuff and keeping you in the moment. Not a whole lot of like background knowledge crap. Like, he's very, very good at writing. I just hate the genre. Like, I don't want to read a horror book. And then because he's a good writer and rude, I got addicted and I had to like finish it, and oh my god. Like, it gets to be a page turner. It's a little slow, and again, the grief journey at the beginning, but like halfway through-ish, you're like, I kind of need to just like one more chapter, just like one more, and then you're like, I could just like not sleep. I could just finish it. Like, you gotta finish it. You gotta know what happens. So like, he's a really good writer. I just, I can't with the horror. So I don't want to give a whole lot of spoilers. Like, we'll save that for the spoiler section. But like, if you like that kind of book, if you're okay with a bit of gore and like, again, the grief part in the beginning, like if that's your thing, you want to be on the edge of your seat reading a book, this is it. If you want a spooky book for Halloween, this is a good one. If not, like maybe we just don't do that if you're not into that kind of a thing, because like, it's a good book. Is it worth that if you're not into that? No. Like, again, he's a good writer. I just wish he did a different genre. Like, just a little bit. Just not so heavy and just, ugh. But, I mean, it's a good book for what it is. So on to the spoilers, because this one had quite a few that I wanted to talk about. So number one is the hand cutting off scene was dramatic. And also, at the same time, why the F with the police? Just believe her story. Like, that is one of those things in fiction books that always like pulls you out just a little bit. Because it's like, what universe are they gonna believe you? You just cut off some dude's hand. There's no way that he did that on his own. There's no way the cut would be that clean if he did it himself. And like, the saw I was picturing is like the handheld, like, zoom one, not the pull down. All the people who know machines are cringing right now. I don't know what they're called. But like, I'm picturing the one that's the big saw blade like this, and you like, you move it. That's what I was picturing. So how the F are you gonna be like holding a board and cut up here? How, and how would you get all the way through? That's what I'm like, why are the cops not investigating that? And like, her thing of, oh, a bookcase fell on me, and it's like, there's like bookshelves or whatever, it's like, I feel like they should have investigated that. Because there's no bookshelves that have fallen. There's no shelving that is out of place to collaborate your story. So I feel like the police probably would have investigated that a little bit more. And then at the end, again, the police investigating with the dead body that's found in the backyard. Which, on that note, I feel like that was kind of a cop-out, honestly. Like, I get why they did it, but it was like, really? And like, I was getting really nervous when we got to the churchy bit. It's like, oh god, we're going down that path. That's when I lost the fear, though. When it was like, oh, it's gonna be a demon? Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna check out. Because I'm not Christian. So like, that was, it really ripped me from the story. I was like, oh, okay, we're good. Oh, we're good. Power of Christ is gonna save us. Great, great, great. But then it didn't work, and I was like just kind of rooting for the puppet a little bit at that point. And also, why is the kid like dying because of this stupid puppet? Like, that didn't make a lot of sense. And if it's supposed to be because like they're like, he's going after like 5-year-olds, which is creepy, but like, why would it work for the brother in like college? Like, the timeline of that thing wasn't lining up. And like, I don't, and like, why, if the original puppet was destroyed, would the new one work? Like, how did that happen? Like, that just seemed so random and weird, and like, just a little bit like kind of plot convenient. It just, I feel like it could have been a little different. But then like, the fact that the kid is like some, like, okay, what idiot parent ever is gonna trust their 7-year-old to babysit their 5-year-old around a pool? Like, that's on the parents. I don't know why the sister was holding that guilt, because that was 100% the parents' fault. And if the parents were blaming the child, like, they needed to get some therapy, because, like, you shouldn't leave a 7-year-old in charge of a 5-year-old. That's a you problem. Duh. You had 2 parents. One stays with the children, babysits them around water. Like, it was just really dumb. Like, and at the same point, I'm like, why were you letting your kids go around water if the kid didn't know how to, like, swim, maybe? Like, why was the adults not around? That was my question. And, like, I'm sure it was back in the day, and, like, we have way more precautions in place now, but, like, dude, the parents should have been way more concerned and not putting all of it on the daughter, who's, like, 7, and had like an ADD moment and was like, oh my god, ice cream, because they're 7. Like, they're just barely starting to get out of, like, itty-bitty child stage. 7 is when you start to, like, actually really get a personality. You're starting to really kind of test the waters of life, you know? Like, they're just starting out. I would not trust a 7-year-old in charge of much of anything. Like, you wouldn't leave them in charge of, like, a stove. Why would you leave them in charge of a younger sibling's existence around something so dangerous? It's one thing if you're like, I gotta go do laundry, and you're in the house and, like, you've got your house mostly proofed of idiot children because they will try to kill themselves. Like, that's just what children do. They're dumb. They haven't learned. But, like, leaving them around a pool unattended was like, and also, why is this pool unattended? There are just so many questions. So many. And, like, it was a little concerning that she was way more like, oh, but here's all the kinds of ice cream that they have, as her brother's dead. That probably should have raised some flags. And, like, why are we just, there were certain things about that. And, like, why the F did they bury him in the backyard? That didn't make much sense. Also, how did they get away with that? Like, again, I know it was a while ago, but how did the morgue and the funeral home not notice? Like, I'm pretty sure they have a pretty Loctite system around their dead bodies. How did they get him away? That's weird. And, like, why would you bury him in your backyard? That is so weird. Like, why not just have him in the plot that you've paid a lot of money for? That didn't make a lot of sense. And, like, why they hid it, too? That's weird. Like, it was a lot of, like, unanswered questions at the end. And, like, the creepy puppet thing of being like, oh, well, you're actually a real boy. You're the Velveteen Rabbit. Like, that, it was weird. The ending just felt weird, is all I can say. And then, like, the massive puppet creature thing, it was just, again, not my thing. Just, it was a weird book. And, like, the weird thing with the daughter and, like, the baby daddy, like, that situation was kind of weird. Like, it just, overall, it was weird. But, like, specifically that kid becoming that puppet, that was strange. I didn't anticipate that. I did not see that coming. I should have. I figured demon. And then it was like, oh, it's a ghost of a 5-year-old. How would a 5-year-old be that smart? And also that chaotic. Like, they probably got mental health going on in that family, to say the least. Because, like, what? Like, what crazy-ass 5-year-old child ghost is capable of all of that? Like, he's whack. So, anyways, all that to say, this is not my style of book. He is a fantastic writer. I wish he wrote a different genre. I feel like he would do so good at not this. Like, I know he's good at this. He's got a few of these, but, like, yeeks. It's not for me. Like, I'm not gonna read another one from him because, like, I know this is not the kind of book I want to read. Like, I don't like that. I prefer, again, the cozy books. Like, I'm very excited to rejoin the cozy books. I just have to get through my next one that I'm going through, which is Mistborn, and I don't like it. I'm starting to wonder if I just don't like high fantasy at this point. Like, specifically, like, I just, in general. Like, that's such a side tangent, but my current thoughts on it is that it's so the same story. Like, they're gonna overthrow the government. No. They're the outcast. No. They're special. No. Like, if I'm gonna have a cheesy storyline, give me the Bake Shop. That one was fun. And, like, just felt like you were wrapped up in a cozy blanket reading a book. And you're just like, the story just envelops you with the smell of a bakery. And, like, it's intriguing, but not making you page turn, because, oh my god, you're just like, I just don't want to leave. Like, that's the kind of book I want. I don't want, what's gonna happen? And also, Mistborn is just so boring. I know it's not a popular opinion. I'm trying to get through it. I'm like 100-something pages in. The struggle is real. My husband wants me to finish it, and I'm like, I will, but it's rough. So, anyways, that will be on, hopefully Monday is when I'm gonna try and get that one done. So, we shall see. Might be later, because it's rough. So, anyways, that is enough for this rambly video. I will see you all next time. Thank you for your support. Make sure to check out my own books, and until next time, I'll see you all soon.